Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Cryptoinsightuk bringing you back another YouTube video. Today we're going to be discussing a bit of XRP news, a bit of what the hell is going on in the world, some Yuga Lab stuff, and then finishing with some Flare. Because these are the things I'm interested in right now. I wanted to keep you caught up on where my brain is. That's the whole point of me making these YouTubes. I'm just going to get into it straight away. So obviously if you don't already follow me on Twitter, you probably should, because I'm fucking awesome. Just kidding. Just because it's the best place to keep, where I keep up to date. Super easy for me to blast a tweet out wherever I am. A bit demotivated in terms of video content creation at the minute, as you probably noticed on my TikTok. I'm not really making many. But obviously I will keep you updated when something big happens. Always, even if my motivation isn't there. But getting into it. I had an XRP trade on. Put it out on Twitter because I didn't know whether to close it or not yesterday. Loads of people replied to it and looked at it, so appreciate everybody who did that. The position I did actually end up closing, I moved my stop loss up to 55.5 cent, made like 8,000 USDT on that trade. I just wanted to point out that I did put this trade in my Patreon group chat on the 20th of March when, like, as I opened the group chat. We only opened the group chat like 10 days ago. Links in my bio if you want to join that. Showed my entry here and like my margin, whatever. I put $5,000 in, and yeah, I had to take profit at 93 cent at the time. Wanted some of the cash, so put it. I've got a huge XRP bag anyway, so just put it on just a leverage trade because I thought the chart looked nice. So yeah, and then we've ended up 8,000 up, which is nice. I've taken most of it into cash. I'm going away to America in the summer. I'm going to go to Bali again at the end of the year. I'm going to France next week for 10 days. Wanted some extra cash. I am going to Vegas and to Toronto to watch a Call of Duty play for my 30th birthday. Ugh, 30, mad. But yeah, anyway, I'll get on to the next part of the video. I don't know why I'm still talking about that. But yeah, if you want to join the group chat where we talk about things like this, Pav also talks about an oil trade, which you can go over, or it's in the newsletter anyway, if anyone wants to check that out. But yeah, let's continue. This is probably the maddest thing I have ever seen in my 29 years of existence. All of a sudden, yesterday, the wilderness dogs just decided they're going to drop the US dollar, mainly around China. There hasn't been much of a reaction today when I thought there probably would be more. But it's pretty mad. So China and Brazil to settle trades in their own currencies, ditching the US dollar. This is a tweet from X Anderson, by the way, on Twitter. If you don't already follow him, go and follow him. He's a great guy. And then we also had Saudi Arabia enters trade deal with China, Russia, India, Pakistan, and 4 Central Asian nations to step further away from the reliance on the dollar. China and France, this was the first one that got announced. China and France complete first LNG gas trade using the Chinese yuan, ending reliance on the US dollar for energy trades. That's France. They're part of the G7, I'm pretty sure. Entering a trade deal with China, not using the dollar, even though the dollar is the world reserve currency. And then finally, Saudi Arabia partners with China to build Chinese oil refinery, 83.7 billion yuan, $12.2 billion oil refinery. Guys, this is mad. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it, and I can't go too deep into it. I'm going to talk about it in my newsletter a bit, but I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't know what happens next. I really, really don't. Obviously, us sitting here with our XRP, speculate XRP is going to help out in some way in the new financial system. A speculation could be they bring in CBDCs and then use some cryptos for neutral bridge assets across border. But what happens between now and then, I don't know. I did think that the dollar would start to fall apart. Talked about it about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Mad to see it happening in real time. And how fast it happens, I don't know. We obviously saw I don't know if I posted that, maybe reshared it on Twitter, but I think it was the Ugandan or Nigerian president, maybe Ugandan president, talking about that the market was going to be different in a few weeks and everyone should sell their dollars, and then this starts coming out. So let's see. Hold on to your hats, guys. We're going to do a bit of TA at the end. I can show you what I'm looking at charts-wise and what I think's looking nice and what's not nice. But I'm actually going to tell you about that in the next tweet. Boom, and I am. Look at that, prepped. Great YouTube content here from me. Personally, I'm only adding to my user exposure, including Ape, obviously ApeCoin, and to my Flare bags right now. Bear in mind, I'm mainly XRP. I'm probably 90-95% XRP, but that's kind of not including my Yuga holds because I hold some with clients, I hold some of my own, I hold some ApeCoin of my own, and I'm going to get into why. But we've just had an update from Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is the next stage of like the Dookie Dash journey. If anyone's been playing that or following my journey, I was running an agency to play people's on their accounts for their tickets for a certain price. Doing our best to finish as high as we can, me and some gaming friends that I know. And we're going to be offering the same service again. If anyone's interested, this game looks pretty different to the last game. It looks more like a collection sort of game. Like, when I say collection, it's probably the wrong word. Where you just basically collect stuff, battle, more like tactical. Probably have to spend more time on it specifically on each account. So this is a little preview of what it looks like. Look, there's a little quote here. Build and customize a workshop that prepares your HVs for their evolution. Show off your creations to climb to the top of the leaderboard, unlock special abilities, take risks, and face the danger of the rift to discover blueprints, gather materials, and craft upgrades. So if anyone wants us to play on their accounts, I've actually personally got 3 knights and 2 celestial HV MTLs or whatever they're called. So there's celestial, sorry, and they're knights. So let's see. That's what I'm playing with at the minute. They're my personal ones. So yeah, cool. On to the next one. Another reason why I am into Ape or Yuga and Flare at the minute. Yuga Labs also, or the other side specifically, has announced a partnership with Gucci. Gucci tweeted, continuing to explore the metaverse, the house comes together with Yuga Labs. Stay tuned for a new narrative takes shape, blurring boundaries between digital and physical, or physical and digital. Hopefully we get some Gucci merch. That would be sweet. Rocking around in a Gucci ape hoodie or something. That'd be nice on the sticks, as I would say if I wasn't talking about crypto, because I like gaming. Another announcement recently that we've had is the Legends of Mara. For the other side, this has boosted the floor price. Essentially, everyone who's got an other side deed is going to get one of 3 different characters that they're going to be able to claim. Like a hunter, gatherer, and like a spellcaster, essentially. But again, looks pretty cool. Go and check it out if you haven't already. And finally, the flare chart looks mad. This is on the weekly. MACD is ready to cross. RSI is flat, bottomed out. Obviously, there's a little bit more space it could come down, but looks nice to me. And then yesterday it had a 26% push up, or the day before. But we are coming down a little bit today, and I'll show you what it's looking like. We're going to have a look at the XRP chart. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart, Ape chart, and the Flare chart. We'll start with Flare. Right now it's down 5% on the day. Not financial advice, but on the short-term time frame, it looks like a decent spot to be having a look. MACD's flattened out. RSI's right near the bottom, waiting to cross bullish. We could do with a bit of a push. In terms of support, we've actually rejected the 4.5 cent mark, which is what I was talking about as a strong point of resistance. We've come back down, and we are finding support on top of the previous swing high right now. After this sign of strength, we've come back down to test where the sign of strength was. We may come back down to this 3.5 sort of cent area, but if you wanted some extra flare exposure, I personally would be buying it in here. Remember, if you do buy flare, you need to send it to a Bifrost wallet. It's what I use anyway. There's probably other ways of doing that, so I don't know why I just said Bifrost specifically. It's just what I personally use. Get it wrapped and delegated, and then you'll be eligible for not only the every 3-day epoch delegation, which is like not a bad amount. I think I've got, I don't even know how to tell you in percentages because I have no idea what the percentage is. But I'll tell you that I've got about just over 500,000 flare, and I probably get a few hundred every 3 days in terms of reward. And with the actual snapshot itself, you get about 20% a month every 16th of the month. But the snapshot's taken at a random time after the 16th of the last month, but you just get rewarded on the 16th. So that's pretty nice. You can work that one out as well if you want to have a think about what I'm making there. It's not all mine. I hold some of my clients' flare in my wallet as well, but still looking nice on the old sticks. As I would say, as you just had me say, daily doesn't look great. Weekly looks nice. MACD about to cross positively. Looks like it anyway. Look, it's slowing down. The momentum's come back into the green. We've got this blue going to come back above the orange, which normally signals a bullish move. And the RSI similar, trying to break above the SMA there. So some volume coming in, a little bit of volume anyway. It's not like obviously nuts volume, but we are starting to, we've seen the bottom of the volume here, and then we're starting to pick it back up again. So hopefully we see some more. Hugo Filion, the CEO of Flare, was on Real Vision the other week. And they're announcing partnerships at the minute, and I think that they've got a decent team and they have good financial backing, planned for a long time. They haven't just launched this token on a whim, so it's not a shit coin like a lot of things are, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but the rewards and the team behind it for me is very positive. They're very integrated with gaming, and they basically try and provide a way for smart contracts to be applicable to any blockchain. So let's see what happens. And they use different like consensus mechanism to most blockchains, but you need to go and have a look at it if you don't understand it. Use like time series oracles, etc. That's how you get your delegated reward. You can have delegated reward even from your ledger. So yeah, anyway, I'll stop now. We're going to look at ApeCoin. ApeCoin looks nice. This is on the weekly. I don't know, I've got some random green line here. Let's get rid of that. Let's have a look on the daily. ApeCoin is looking nice to me personally. It's just crossing bullish here. Look on the MACD. Could be trying to find some momentum for another upside move here. We haven't set a lower low. We are still uptrending here. You could say a low, high, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we've got a low still, but it is technically still a higher low than the previous low here. So if we gain some momentum, we could be looking for a next leg up on a push up. And if you take it to the shorter time frames, specifically the hourly, I haven't looked at the four. It just looks like it's trending sideways. If we look at the hourly, it looks like there's going to be an entry at some point soon here, guys. In my opinion, it looks pretty nice. Small consolidation now. Let's see what happens next. We get some positive news from Yuga and break out of this short-term downwards trend that we've been stuck under, especially if we can break above this green line here, then we could be looking towards the upside. I don't want to give you too many upside targets because I was personally looking for up here at least to $8, but there's not a lot above $8 before we get to like 26. So I don't know. It depends what happens with crypto in general. Let's have a look at XRP. Obviously, we've been riding this. We are in the over bought areas on the RSI, and the MACD looks a bit overextended, as does the price chart. We're starting to get bullish crosses back in on the daily. One thing I would like to point out is when we do get into these oversold territories, we can stay in there for a little while, so don't get freaked out that we're in these oversold areas. It does normally come back down for a retracement after that happens, obviously, but don't think that we can't spend time in here. We could spend 4, 5, 6, 7 days in here, and normally on the weekly, we can stay in there for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then once we start to break into that weekly area is when we really start to get those blow off top moments. So anything can happen. XRP moves super, super quick, guys. That's one thing you need to take into consideration when you think about trading XRP specifically. And if we look on the 4 hourly, is not that bullish, but it's a parabolic up curve essentially here. But I sold because we've had such a fast move to the upside, and we do need some time to cool down. But structurally, it does look alright. It's finding some support on top of the moving averages. If we start to lose these, we may come down to the 44, sort of 45 cent area. I may look to re-enter a trade somewhere around there. But we also could take another leg up from here. I've taken my leverage off the table because the risk to reward to me is not good enough. But if we get any sort of decision from the judge, which we're waiting on, which could be today, could be tomorrow, lawyers in the space were speculating it was going to be on or before the 31st of March 2023. We've not had it yet, so we've got 2 days before that finishes. And even if it's not, it's going to be any time around now, guys. And I know that people get emotional about it because they've got their own capital invested into XRP specifically, and they get caught up in conspiracies, which may or may not be right. I don't know. But the fact is that the judge will decide on this case. It's not going to be the biggest case she's ever decided on, and she'll decide on this case as and when she's ready and feels that the decision it's time for the decision. And that's what we're waiting for now. There can be a settlement at any point before that, but that's what we're waiting for. So don't get caught up in the hype of anyone chatting shit about it. It's going to come at some point, guys, whether you emotionally think it is or it isn't, because we've sat here and waited for a long time. But unfortunately, the American legal system takes its time to figure itself out. So just remember, while the lawsuits continuing, the lawyers are getting paid, so they're not in a rush. So let's let's just leave it there, because I don't like to get into it too much, because people get really upset one way or another about the suit, and it is what it is, unfortunately. Like, as you guys know, like, all my capital's in XRP, and I hope that the lawsuit's a positive outcome, but getting emotional about it isn't going to change anything. You may as well just sit there and understand what the facts are. I do think Bitcoin could take another leg up soon, and people think I'm crazy, but I've been saying this. I thought 30k was inbound. We're nearly at 30k. We do look like we need to cool down at some point, but for the short term, we could definitely take another leg up into this oversold area and maybe break up towards the 33,000 area. I don't know, somewhere around there. And let's just see. We're getting towards retracement territory. We definitely need to cool off at some point. But with what's going on around the world, people losing faith in the banking system, if more dollars are going to get printed, if people start to move away from the dollar in general, all these things lead to positivity to crypto in the long run, as long as it doesn't get like banned, which I don't think it will. Like, China's opening up trading desks in Hong Kong. They've literally the other day said that institutions can now hold crypto and banks can hold crypto in China. We'll probably see some integration of digital assets with BRICS nations and other nations around the world, trying to remove borderless like frictions on transactions in the very near future. All this leads to positivity for crypto. It is narrative hunting, but it is also, in my opinion, true. We're in such the beginnings of an asset class, which is what I talk about all the time, which is why I said when we're near the bottom and everyone's calling for another few percent lower, don't get caught up in the hype in that, because one piece of news could change the world and change crypto in general, and we still could do that. Like, exactly like the introduction of like ChatGPT for AI. Everyone knew AI was coming. ChatGPT came, boom, 5 million users in like a day, or 1 million users in 5 days or something, whatever the stats were, but it was like the biggest network adoption ever. We could see something like that for crypto. You just need one big catalyst, and boom, we're off and away. So that's what I think about crypto in general. So don't believe the hype. Use TA for your best entries if you can, but otherwise, don't get scared out of the markets in one way or another. Never, obviously, invest in anything you can't afford to lose. And nothing I ever say is financial advice, but I am all in crypto. You know that. I do think that the world's moving to a more digital space, and with more and more uncertainty around legacy finance, people might start to diversify into crypto. And the other option, in my opinion, is to print more dollars in order to save the financial system that they've got. And by doing that, people are probably going to asset allocate some of these dollars into crypto, so the price of fixed assets goes up relative to the debasement of the asset under question, which is the dollar at this point. I just don't know why I just turned my DPI down. And finally, I want to leave you with a quote. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world. So take that thought and carry it with you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace up, A-Town down, as Usher would say. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you don't already. Peace out.